got to understand the philosophy of top. You got to be able to ride, first off, just enough to keep guys down. If I'm wrestling Stevens here, if I'm wrestling Stevens, there's 20 seconds to go in the second period, and I take Stevens down. What's the score? 2-0. If Stevens gets away with 10 seconds to go in that same period, what's the score? 2-1. You guys are awake, right? Lots of national titles, lots of big matches are decided by 1 point. I need to make sure that if I do that, whether it's the first period, second period into the match, let's say I'm behind by 1. I take him down with 20 seconds to go in the match. If I can't ride somebody for 20 seconds, I'm in trouble. So the first thing we got to do is we got to make sure we're able to ride guys for short periods of time, and then hopefully the goal is to be able to ride guys even longer. So, maybe somebody do different here. Under, you're down. Bottom man set. Top man up. I'll show you 2 different kinds of chops. One's just a basic chop. The other is off of an ankle. We're going to go from an ankle to a chop. Sometimes, just like in wrestling, it takes you got to put 2 shots together to get something done. Same thing goes with top. Sometimes you got to put 2 things together. But the first thing we got to do is we got to understand how to chop. And for some reason, I don't know why it is, but this is easier to learn. I've taught it to high school guys for years, and I've taught it to college guys for years. For some reason, it's easier to learn. Middle school guys, high school guys pick this up better than college guys. So if you're a college guy here, I challenge you a little bit. Learning how to chop. I think part of the reason is guys think that chopping's forward. Chopping is really sideways to control guys. And you guys have heard this before probably when you started wrestling. When I started wrestling, I remember my middle school coach always said the bottom guy's like a table. He's got 4 legs. 1, 2, 3, 4. You got to take legs away from him. You take legs away from the table becomes weaker. The table's really strong right now. If I take 1 leg away from the table right here, tie that up, the table's not as strong, but it's okay. But if I put weight on that table, now I can break that table down because he doesn't have a leg. I got 4 legs, there are 4 legs right there on the mat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hard for me to knock him over. What I want to do is I want to take a leg away and I want to keep it. Once you learn how to, whether it's this one, this one, this one, or this one, I got to take 1 away and I got to keep it. Then I got to learn how to use my weight. Because the goal is right now, if you're not very good at riding at your level, sure I know this guy can ride high school guys, but he's not a high school wrestler anymore. So he's got to learn how to ride college guys. You got to learn by just being able to keep guys down for 20 seconds. Once you figure out how to keep guys down for 20 seconds, then you can ride guys for period. And obviously that's an advantage in college because you get a riding time for it. So, bottom man set, top man on. I've got to pull either this way or this way is my first motion. You guys think, well, why do you call it a chop ride? I'm going to show you. Everybody chops and they kind of chop forward. Chop forward. We're going to chop sideways. Bottom man set, top man on. Here I go. I'm going to pull him over this trip right here. Right here, there's my chop. Okay. Kind of like this game. Come here. Here's the concept. I worked with a small group this morning. I had more fun with it. But you guys ever do this game at the school, the playground? Me and Thunder, we're working together here. All right, we don't like this guy. We're going to play a trick on him. So him and I start talking. All right. Thunder comes up behind. All right. There you go. That's a trip. Okay, good job. That's a trip. It's the same thing. If you understand that, how that works, you're going to be really good on top. That's the tripper. This is the push. Okay. It's not here. You can't do it from the belly button. I go with the hook. Right there, other side. And then I guide all the way to here. That's it. Back up. Thunder's doing a great job. Partner rolls back up. If you chop somebody to their side, what are they going to do? They're going to stand their back or they're going to fight to their belly? They're going to fight to their belly. Here, he fights to his belly. I shoot across. I've got one leg of the table. Now to keep the table down, because I got to get 20 seconds. Coach says I got to get 20 seconds. Got to put weight on it. I got one leg, I got to put weight on it. Now, here's the attitude you got to have. You might already be good on top. Let me tell you, we got a guy named Jesse Dong. He's pretty good on top. He's pretty good, but his best position is top. Jesse's first 2 years, especially his first year, he rode the you-know-what on everybody. Nobody knew what he did. He's a great legger. But he does the same thing every time. What happens sooner or later? Flow wrestling. People figured him out. So it's easy. Whistle blows, what happens, guys? You guys are wrestling. Whistle blows, boom, Jesse ropes that leg around. Guy started figuring it out. Guy started catching his leg. Guy started reversing him. Guy started beating him. So what Jesse needs to do is he needs to maybe go with the chop, or he needs to go with an ankle, and then maybe go to his leg. The reason I say that is if you're sitting here right now thinking, Coach, I'm pretty good at top, I don't need to pay attention to this. Jesse Dong's my example. Jesse Dong's really, really good at top, but they stopped his #1 move. He's still got to figure out a way to get there. Maybe he chops instead of throws the leg. Maybe he goes weights and ankles. So don't ever be narrow-minded enough to think that you know everything. You got to have a lot of tools. The more tools you have, a lot tougher you're going to be. So even though you might be good, Devin Carter's really good at this. But when somebody stops it, he's got to have something else. Because he's still got to ride that guy 20 seconds to win that title. If the guy knows he's got that, Jesse can't rely on this 20 seconds to go to win the national. Especially if the guys can catch it. You got my point? We're going to chop. Again, bottom man set, top man on. Right here. Other side. Good choppers do this. They lay it out here. We had a guy named Matt Epperly who was awesome at this. Reason being is because the whistle blew, came into here, he laid it out here, went right to his back. Boom, right to his back, he trapped the wrist, almost pinned himself for a second. The guy fought down, shoot across. I know I've spent a lot of time at that, but you know what? We got some guys that can't ride nobody for 10 seconds. You gotta be able to ride that. 1, 2, 3. Partner, you gotta do a pretty good job of being on wide base there. Pretty good job of a wide base. Let's go. Get into it. We'll get another warm-up in. This is brain time, learning time. Find a partner. Find a partner. Raise your hand if you need a partner. Huh? Raise your hand, go find him. Raise your hand, go find him. Drill him. Hey.